Hey guys, are you ready to do something completely different? Let's talk about National Lampoon. Yeah, I do not have these magazines. I just bought 4 of them at a little swap meet thing, and I thought, let's get these, check them out. They were $1. I'm like, I'll get some National Lampoon and take a look at them. And I thought, why not share it on the channel? Sometimes that's what I do, is I go hunt for something to talk about. I've never read these, but I read this one. I thought it was fun. Let's take a gander, shall we? First off, before we even talk about anything, there are some great documentaries about National Lampoon. I do have some books about some of the National Lampoon cartoonists, which is cool. I mean, if you don't know about this magazine and these people who worked on it, they are kind of like the cream of the crop, and it is kind of important, this magazine, culturally. And we must talk about the fact that they have a portable boombox with a record player. I don't even know how that works, like just the idea of that. But I really want to try that. I really want to try a boombox with the record player. That's freaking cool. Okay, let's just get in with it. A lot of ads, by the way, for alcohol, cigarettes, and hi-fi. That's just one thing we will notice. So we're already 4 booze ads in on a magazine. But this is like an adult magazine. So the word adult is missing here, but it's adult humor magazine. So it's for us big boys. I do like some of these. That's just like a cool freaking picture, dude. He's on some kind of cliff. He's got his little camping thing. He's got a cigarette. He's by himself. You know, he's rugged. He's got his damn motorcycle and his pup tent. That's badass, dude. Now he would be much younger. He'd be super built, so he wouldn't have a shirt on. He had some hot chick next to him. It'd be totally different with the REI, like dome tent. He'd have like an electric bike or a Jeep. Yeah, it'd be different. But yeah, dude. And look at that curly hair, dude. It's all about it. And this only had 0.8 milligrams of tar. Pretty good. Okay, so yeah, there's some little, a lot of this is little stories, little like joke stories. You know, tuna bomb at Marine World talking about these guys thought that they captured a tuna thinking it was an orca, you know, little stuff like that. There's Blandy, which is clearly a take on Blondie. So it's all parody. Right? All this stuff is parody. Even the frog, little shirts are parody of the alligator. Another hi-fi. Very curious what Stereoplex is. All these little like gimmicky stuff they did. So here's some letters. Deep Thought. Now this, I had no idea that Jack Handy. If you guys know Jack Handy, Deep Thoughts, that was a SNL sketch. I had no idea it started here in National Lampoon. And some of these are wonderful, dude. Some of these, yeah, back in the caveman days, I bet it would have been really embarrassing if your wife evolved and you didn't. I'd like to write a mystery where the butler did it in his pants. I think the thing that surprised me about New York was not the size of the buildings, but how small I was compared to them. You know, just weird little like deep thoughts. I thought that was really kind of neat. Again, so a little kind of, these all little joke stories and things like that. Heavy metal. So there was a relationship with the Heavy Metal magazine. So here's Heavy Metal, which we talk about here on the channel a lot, with some model chick. Now she would be much darker skinned. This is kind of fun. I really like these little like Cork and Fork, Squat and Gobble, Chat and Chew, all these fun little like signs and stuff. I saw some, it was kind of cute. More, do they even make Salem's? I don't even know. Okay, here's a comic. We're gonna get into some comicness here. This is done by Thomas Peters and Robert Waterman. and it was okay. This one is a little bit, I mean, we would probably say it's racist now, and I'm not going to defend necessarily some of the jokes and stuff like this, but you know, there was a time in which people were a little bit more I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but yeah. So this is these two guys looking for trying to create a business. They go through all these. They kind of anthropomorphize businesses with General Motors, Heineken, Exxon, Burger King, Walt Disney, and so it's a way to kind of like tell jokes about all these different businesses. So these two guys are trying to create a good company, travel through the world looking for a good example of a company or a business. And so yeah, they go to Africa. They kind of like do some shenanigans. Now, the art's good. Art's actually really good. It's very serviceable. I guess the story and the jokes were just okay. It does feel a little dated. And look at the freaking the words. I mean, this is like, you just don't have comics with this much like text. So kudos to them to be able to draw what they needed to with the space they had, because it is like, I mean, look at this panel. You just wouldn't have a panel like this nowadays. Look at all that text. And it's all typed out too. Notice this isn't hand done, or no, it's not hand done. It's all typed out. It's just like, and there's like no spacing. It's just freaking scrunched up there. We just wouldn't do that now. This was fascinating. Louis Farrakhan, I'm the Inner. I don't know if this is a joke or not. I'm assuming it has to be. It has to be a freaking joke. It's got to be a joke. But that's fascinating. I do like this little sketch. And the bottom dropped out of the silver market. That's funny. I like this drawing, by the way. I like this. Kind of reminds me of Steranko. I don't know who it is. Oh, Jeffrey Smith did this stuff. Probably would look really good in color. But here's another little jokey story. It's kind of fun, though. I mean, it's definitely, you definitely kind of have to put your mind into that kind of frame. But here's some fumetti. It's kind of a fun little fumetti story about where David Letterman gets his guests. And these two Russians come out, they're in the city. These assistants need to find some cool guests. So they go and they kind of tour the city looking for new guests and everything. But it's kind of fun. A little photo fumetti, it's called. I like that a lot. I like that stuff. Little story, another story about school. Some of these drawings are that's kind of fun. Here's some funny pages. So here's some more comics. I like this art a lot by Bilko Griffith. I thought this was pretty fun. I like the art in it. Trots and Bonnie, another strip that's a monthly strip in their thing. It's kind of a weird pseudo-sexual thing, and I don't know enough of these older comics to know what this is like a parody of. But it's a dog and a girl, and I'm just not educated enough to know what this is parodying, but it's kind of almost like reminds me of like a Nemo kind of gimmick and some of this style. I like this too. This is kind of odd. Ron Hugh. This was really well done, and I couldn't. Again, another Ron Hugh, but I couldn't read that name. It's Frank somebody. But this is like the old school kind of long story told. This was a fun story, the Hercules. And this is really nice too. This is Rick Geary. So Rick Geary, shoot, what has he done, guys? I know the name. I have some of his work. and I really like it. Look at these faces. This is just really well done. I know his work. It's escaping me now, but he's a guy. He's a real dude. This is really nice too. The rendering is very well done. So there's a kind of like different styles, different maybe even calibers of artists. You've got stuff like this, which is very indie. You could see this stuff today. Like this looks like it could totally be done today. And then you have some really well done, really highly rendered stuff by B.K. Taylor. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but just then letters, columns, more deep thoughts, continue from before. Another little story. I thought this was pretty good. I mean, I'll be honest, you do have to like get in that kind of frame of mind of a little bit older. It's a comedic, so you know, jokes have to hit, which is hard to do. Comedy is super hard to do, especially when you're looking at older stuff. But definitely fun to kind of check out. Some of the comics were good. There's a couple other issues that I thought were even better, so we'll go through those later. But thanks for watching, and have a good one. Take care, guys.